customer for the Focus transcends all of the segments as we know them, starting from our youngest, the Echo Boomer, all the way up to our oldest existing generation, the Maturers. So while we are going to continue to appeal to our existing customer base, typically the Baby Boomer and the Maturers, we really have an opportunity here to focus in on this new generation, the Echo Boomer. The Focus is really Ford Motor Company's opportunity, but it's also the opportunity for the dealerships. Because in this case, we have a new vehicle, a new nameplate with no history, and we're targeting this very young audience. So this is the first time we're really going to get this young audience in our dealerships, where typically we have more of a baby boomer type of influence. And this younger audience is our future, truly in every sense of the word. The Echo Boomer generation is 80 million strong. That's the largest generation to date. So these people are young, they're here, they're currently buying, they influence a very large number of the purchases, not only that they make, but that their parents make. And they have the opportunity really to influence what we do for the future. So we have to listen to them now, because if we wait, we've really lost a complete opportunity. So right now is the time for us to get to them. We can't wait 5 years. We have to hit them now while they're forming their opinions and really connect with this buyer.
One thing that I really wanted to find when I bought my car is something that I could make my own.
I want it to be solid. I want it to last. Like I see most people get cars every few years, it seems, and I'm not really down with that. I'd really rather get a car once every 5 or 10 years.
You can just tell, you can just got the feel to it, whether it's going to break, it's a lot of plastic or not, or.
So I really look at the, not the name, but the quality.
It's important for us to really get to know this customer if we're going to build a relationship with them. And we know from our research that relationships are important to these people. Relationships with their family, relationships with their friends, and certainly relationships with the sales consultant. They're going to do a lot of homework in advance of coming into our dealership. They're going to use third party, they're going to use the internet, and they're going to come in well informed. And in that respect, we're not going to have to spend a lot of time really explaining the product to them. What we're going to have to do, however, is really get to know them and form a relationship with these people. And we know that that's what they want.
Somebody who's nice, who's willing to work with you if you don't, have a ton of money.
If you're just, honest and straightforward and business-like, and you don't try and, woo me into buying something, you just give me the facts.
Not being pushy, I guess, but, that's how a salesman is they're pushy. They let me see the car. A lot of times they just, you walk in the door and they jump right at you.
I want people to treat me with the same respect they would give my parents, and ask me if I'm looking for anything in particular.
Being that I'm a teenager, I don't get the respect that I deserve, I feel sometimes. So just being polite and treating me like, I am a potential buyer, I think is important.
I know when I'm going to buy a car, I know what I'm looking for in a car, and I know what to expect from certain things. And if I don't know what to expect and I don't know what I'm looking at, I'll come and find someone to help me.
I like to move at my own pace and not be rushed into a car that I might not like.
They should be nice and friendly and courteous to you, but they should show you what's good about the vehicle or whatever you're buying, but not be in your face about it. Let you experience what it is. They should tell you what it is, offer you a chance to experience it, and if you want to, go ahead and do it. And if you like it, buy it.
This customer is very different from our traditional customers, and they use this entertainment and information via different sorts of avenues: internet, email, beepers. They use it in their workplace, they use it in education. They use it for fun, because what they're used to is choice. Whether it's from cable, where they have over 100 channels at their disposal, or millions and millions of internet websites at the click of a button. They can go anywhere around the world within seconds. They can make purchases from anywhere around the world within seconds, because they have that choice.
I surf around. If you're trying to get information on a specific car or site, if you know who makes the car, generally, if they're a big company, they're going to have a site. You can go and find out anything you want.
Go on the internet a lot. Actually, with the recent cars that we just bought, internet helped out a lot.
Mainly for school-related things, just find out things that I'm interested in, look at the newest trends, stuff like that.
I occasionally go on the internet. When I was buying a new car, I went and looked over different cars, what they had to offer.
Also, I've been using the internet more too. Some of the websites are a lot easier than just to go out. You can just stay at home and do some research on your own.
I kind of go on it every day and just play around, and if I'm interested in getting a new car, type in cars, bring things up, small car companies, go through it like that.
We're going to go about this launch in some different ways than we have before. We're going to create a relationship and a dialogue with this customer. We're not going to go about the traditional media the way you've seen us in the past. It's going to be very new and very fresh and very relevant to this target market. And we're going to continue to be personal with them because they're not a Me Too generation. It's going to be unlike anything we've done before because Focus is unlike any vehicle they've seen before.
I want a small car that suits my lifestyle and my needs.
I want a small car that's affordable.
Solid, like, kind of feels like you're got something.
Doesn't act like a small car.
Sporty kind of feel.
Bigger than the typical compact car.
Liability.
There's room in the back seat for two people to sit.
Easy to park.
Not too expensive. Sporty, zippy.
I want a car that looks nice.
Safe for kids.
Eye appealing.
Practical. Cool colors.
Rounded corners and sound system.
Automatic.
Power. Control. Safe.
Attractive, built well.
Comfortable. Secure.
Quick.
Fast.
People are right to expect more from their car than merely good looks. We style Focus not just to look striking, progressive, daring if you like. We created it with both form and function at the forefront of our minds. Ford Focus is the latest example of our modern new age design approach, seen on earlier models like Ford Ka and Puma and now on our new Ford Kuga Coupe. New age design is about precision with crisp, clean intersection carried through to an integrated design theme. The energy lines in the styling give Ford Focus the impression of movement, even when he's standing still. But Ford Focus is not just a single car. 3 doors, 4 doors, and estate versions. So they're real choice to accommodate most customer needs. We develop a higher than usual cabin for greater driver and passenger comfort. New Edge design allows us to do this while still retaining elegant flowing lines. This height means we were able to concentrate on building really large door opening for maximum ease getting in and out. That's real-world practicality. And because Ford Focus is all new, we were able to design a body shape with high aerodynamic efficiency. The Ford Focus 3-door, for example, has a drag coefficient of just 0.32. This means it's more comfortable to travel in, being very quiet inside, as well as highly fuel efficient. So I think it's perfectly reasonable to expect a car in this class to be both stylish and practical. I think our Ford Focus proved that.
Easily accessible controls. Push a button and it works.
I do like it how you can adjust your seat belt up and down on the side door. I like it how you can bring your steering wheel up or down, and some cars even have the option of bringing it out towards you and back away from you.
I also like a small car that has a higher roof or ceiling, lots of room for your head. Room is very important to me, especially leg room.
Well, you definitely need room. And the more kids you have, the more room you need.
A smaller car that gives me a big car feeling.
Customers expect more from their cars these days, and so do we at Ford. When we started to design Ford Focus, we began with one fundamental thought. Size is not the same as space. So we designed Ford Focus from the inside out, putting the customer at the center of what we did. In other words, we created the design and the package around the customer. People need the package of a larger car without the size penalty. They don't want their new car to be bigger overall. We achieved this by changing the architecture of our car. We built Ford Focus on an all-new platform with the longest wheelbase in the class, but left its overall length just right for maneuverability and easy parking. We gave it a low bonnet line for excellent forward visibility and crash performance. And we deliberately designed Ford Focus to be higher than traditional cars in this class. The result is one of the best interior packages in the class. Ford Focus is not significantly bigger overall, so its size is unaffected, but its space is greatly increased. The benefits are obvious. There's lots of head and shoulder room, real freedom of space, and real room to enjoy the drive. The long wheelbase means excellent legroom all round. The whole driving experience is designed for comfort and ease, with height adjustable driver's seat and a fully adjustable steering column. We also researched luggage, resulting in a boot which is easy to access, easy to load, and carries a lot. Yes, with Focus you can expect more space without increasing size. We've done just that.
It has good acceleration, good handling.
I want a small car that has some get up and go.
Speed. I like speed a lot.
I like a short shift. I like a firm feeling when it shifts into gear.
When I need to pass someone on a 2-lane road, I like to step on the accelerator and instead of just listen to it rev up, actually like to have it move out.
Like a high performance sort of sports car, yet I don't want to spend $50,000 for it either.
As part of the pre-program effort on this vehicle, we had customer clinics in North American major cities where we brought in customers from that owned other car products such as Toyota and Ford products to take into account what they wanted, and we built that into our designs for the engine. We took into account what they wanted in terms of performance feel, fuel economy, serviceability, and those factors were taken into account during the pre-program and definition of the powertrains for this vehicle. We have an 8-valve engine and a 16-valve engine to give a significant differentiation between the two power units. They're both 2 liters. Those engines are coupled to manual transmissions. They are 5-speed manual transmissions which are cable operated for performance enhancement. This gives a nice smooth shift for the customer, and that is coupled to the engine with a hydraulically operated clutch which gives a nice feel and low pedal effort. The new automatic transmission for this vehicle is a 4-speed direct electronic shift control transmission. It's all new and features in this vehicle for the first time. It has features of excellent drivability, smooth shift control, and excellent fuel economy. Customer feedback suggested to us that we needed to enhance performance feel. We have directed our attention to that in certain small areas such as fast response off the mark, overtaking maneuvers, and sheer driving delight. I think the customer will find that this car is a real fun to drive car. It has all the attributes that we were requested to put into it, and we hope that we've been able to deliver them.
I like nice tight steering. I don't want a car that, will be all loose all over the road.
You're driving the car's not driving you.
Well, I think more about a sportier car. I feel more like a race car. You're in control.
Definitely, it's control. So if there's a car that you're driving and you feel it going right to left, there's definitely no control.
The goal for the Ford Dynamics team for the Focus program was pretty clear. We wanted to be the best in class for vehicle dynamics. And that meant delivering stability, agility, precision, and comfort in its class that's never been experienced. Agility means how immediate does the vehicle respond to your steering input. How agile is the vehicle? How nimble does the vehicle feel to you as you input into steering? Stability means how stable does the car feel to you as you're entering the corner or as you're doing emergency lane change maneuvers? How comfortable do you feel as you are experiencing those events? Precision means as you input into steering, does the vehicle respond in lockstep with what you're inputting to the steering system? So how does the steering system and the vehicle respond together? That's precision. Comfort means how well does the vehicle absorb bumps? How well does the suspension go over bumps without creating discomfort to the passenger? How well does it absorb irregularities in the road? Stiff body shell always plays an important role in determining vehicle dynamics characteristics because it allows the suspension components to work on suspension design optimization instead of trying to stiffen up the rest of the car. For instance, if we had a body structure that wasn't very stiff, we would have to stiffen up the suspension components to realize the overall vehicle stiffness from suspension. But that will negatively degrade our ride comfort, and we wouldn't be able to focus on the steering and handling objectives. Suspension design is a highly refined McPherson strut with zero offset geometry. What that means is that the front control arm is in the axis of steering axis, which allows us to separate the side-to-side forces and fore and aft forces. We can make the side-to-side suspension bushes very stiff for agility and good steering response, and we can make the fore and aft bush very soft for good ride comfort. We don't have to make compromises in ride for the benefit of handling in a multi-link suspension because we can tune the vehicle very soft in the longitudinal direction for ride comfort while maintaining independent wheel input for ride and also handling maneuvers. The Ford Focus Dynamics team really delivered a best-in-class vehicle for vehicle dynamics attributes. And some of all the actions that the team delivered will be easily felt by average customer. And quite frankly, when the customer drives this vehicle, they will understand what front to drive is all about. They will really appreciate agility, precision, stability, and comfort. This vehicle really speaks for itself, and I challenge anyone to drive this car.
Safety is the main thing. I like a car that I'm going to feel safer in.
I expect, of course, front airbags and everything now. Side airbags I like.
Some side impact protection also.
Analog brakes and airbags and things like that. Just with little ones, you kind of want to go out of your way to protect them.
The key message that the customer was telling us was they wanted the safest possible vehicle that would keep them, as a driver and the passengers and their children that go in the car, as safe as possible during any journey they went. To that end, we set out to try to deliver every safety system that was available that could be implemented into the vehicle. The customer isn't necessarily aware of the technical things that could be there to deliver to them. What they are looking for, generally speaking, is to make sure that they are kept in a safe environment within the vehicle. And in many respects, what we did was look at all of the things that were out there, the technical innovations that could be implemented on the vehicle, like pre-tensioners on seat belts, load limiter seat belts, airbags and side airbags, of course, and then looking at things like the latest evolution of child seat systems in order to incorporate those into the vehicle. The key thing about safety is making sure that when you deliver the performance of the vehicle, it's key that every part works in unison with the rest of the vehicle. So you start with the basic structure, which is the body shell itself. Now in many respects, Focus was a great platform to start with because it's got a very stiff body shell. And from a crash performance, that means you've got good integrity and good strength for the body. The restraint system is designed such that the seat belt system, once the pre-tensioner is fired and tightened the belt at the beginning of the crash event, the seat belt system is then designed such that as the crash event happens, the occupant moves forward in the seat, he starts to then tension the belt and then apply load to his hips and to his chest. So what we then do is tune the airbag to work in harmony with the seatbelt. And the aim is that at the point you reach the airbag is actually inflated and is starting to deflate. So you in effect drop into the airbag itself and in effect move forward as the bag is deflating. And when we look at the most likely accident that happens, it's not running headlong into a brick wall, but it's actually more likely that you will hit another car that is coming towards you, driver side corner to driver side corner. In the event of that happening, the energy is channeled down one side of the vehicle. On Focus, what we looked at trying to do was to share that energy across the whole of the front of the car. The way we did that was by incorporating a beam across the front of the vehicle that allows the energy to be shared between not only the struck side rail, but also the unstruck side rail. We call it the cross-car beam. This beam sits behind the instrument panel, and this cross-car beam structure helps to increase the rigidity of the vehicle and helps to increase the rigidity of the steering column and airbag structures in the way they deploy to you, the occupant. The sided airbag on Focus is what we call a head and thorax bag. It's designed to protect the upper part of the body and the head, to make sure that you always interface with the airbag in the optimum position. The best place to mount the airbag is actually in the seat itself, because that moves forward and rearward with you as you sit in the car. And it makes sure that when the bag does deploy, that it always comes out in the right place and helps to protect you in the seat. In designing Focus, we wanted to make sure that we incorporated safety under all circumstances for the occupants within the vehicle. If you are sitting in the rear of the car, wearing your seatbelt, doing everything you think is correct, what we were looking to do was make sure that the luggage itself doesn't intrude through the seat and actually cause you damage, because what tends to happen is that if you're wearing the seatbelt, you become the retainer of the luggage, not the seat back. And what we wanted to do was make sure that the seat back was the retainer of the luggage. The key thing we wanted to achieve with Focus was to take the best available technology and incorporate them into this vehicle. But it's not just about taking single technologies and putting them into a car. It's about making them work in harmony with each other.